home opener.
Okay, Philadelphia is clad in white, trimmed in purple and red. That's their traveling uniform. Hot orange, fiery red, and white are the colors of the Baltimore Blast. They'll be going right to left as we begin the first period. And Skip, let's try to fill the fans in early on some of the changes that have been made in the Fever. Let's first talk about the head coaching change in Walt Chislewicz.
Well, Walt Chislewicz is a well-known name in the Philadelphia area. If you want to come out and see him coach, he's an exciting coach. Come to our home opener, which is in November 28th.
Philadelphia with possession, the visiting team, and that's Seth Gattenhammer, who was 4-1 against the Fever last year, had great success. His backup is Keith Van Aaron, and for Fever fans, you might know that was one of the starting goalkeepers for Philadelphia last year, but he was since sold to the Baltimore Blast. Quite an exceptional backup. This is Mike Stankovic. Curry tested early around the boards. Mark Atmore at center, and Danny Counts, who played 12 games for the Fever in the team's first year, loses to Atmore, but I believe we have a whistle and a foul, a pushing foul against Mark Atmore.
And the Philadelphia Fever are a very young team, and you're going to look to watch for this 1981-82 season, playing high man-to-man pressure all over the field. We're matching up our best players with their best players, Mark.
That was an offside pass, Skip, a three-line offside pass. Perhaps you could explain that rule.
Yeah, three-line pass is when a forward pass crosses both red lines in the air without touching an opposing player.
Simple enough. Very simple game.
Very simple, and a lot of goals are scored.
Louis Nanchoff expected to score some this year. 3-on-2, 3-on-3 if Louis could scramble back. This is Prentice, and a score! Soccer League, a minute and 2 seconds old for the 1981-82 season, and Baltimore strikes first.
And here's Peter Ballard, Baltimore Blast just got him on Wednesday. Seeing Rob Prentice, just sits in the inside, Ardo going for it, puts on his back and bounces right in there.
The first, I guess, legitimate shot on goal for anybody of the game.
And that's what's about this indoor soccer game. You use the boards as a six-man, and that time Ardo just got a little bit crossed up with a six-man. The six-man hit it off his back.
Skip very early, very important for this young Fever team not to get rattled by this early goal.
Well, if the Fever can keep it close in the first period, we're definitely in the ball game because we're a very strong fourth-period team.
And a young team, a team that can last through to that fourth period.
Yeah, Walt believes in strength and power, but one thing you'll see this year is the speed, the exceptional speed of the Philadelphia Fever.
This is Tony Whelan against Dave Sarakin, and now Elson Steele. Elson expected to score a lot this year, and Atmore decides to go back at center. That goal by Prentice, of course, is first. Peter Baralich gets the assist. The time of the goal, 1:02 of the first period, and just that quickly, Baltimore on top, 1-0. A couple of old mates going at it. This is Elson Steele against Joey Fink off the board for Doc Lawson. It is still loose in the box. Comes clear for Timmy Clark. Lawson tries to heel it through. He cannot. And Philadelphia trying to put on some early pressure to force the tying goal, but they cannot.
Philadelphia Fever were very unlucky there, Mark. Doc Lawson was caught, got the ball off the boards, and just couldn't get his foot on it to slide it home. Look for many opportunities from Doc Lawson playing forward.
Foul against Philadelphia. The advantage will go to Baltimore. Skip, that's something you put into effect when you took over the Fever for those final 3 games last year. You had Doc at the forward position on the man advantage.
Yeah, Doc has all the attributes to be an exceptional soccer player, and that's why he's been voted twice on the All-Star team, but he's well known for marking Steve Jungle, but here Walt Chislewicz put him on the forward line because of his strength. He has to be the strongest player in the MISL, and you need that strength and his speed, and he has an extremely powerful shot.
So frustration on the part of Tony Whelan of Philadelphia. The free kick on the Whelan foul with 12:14 to go. First period, Baltimore already on top 1-0, scoring just a minute and 2 ticks of the clock into the first period.
Oh, it's good to see the Fever really matched up well on that restart situation. Last year, the Fever were burnt all year on Baltimore's restart situation. Kenny Cooper believes in a lot of picks and rolls, and Fever read the play very well there.
All the teams getting unwound now, just sort of feeling each other out. Not much in the way of cohesive offense. And Arto Perry trying to shake the early season jitters and keep the door locked for the rest of the game. Atmore trying to cut around Gary Ayer. And there's Gattenhammer. Any noticeable patterns you see early, Skip?
Now, they're just trying to feel each other out. This carpet is very hard to get used to early on. Our carpet at the stadium and where we train, and also...
That's Mike Stankovic, but I believe it wouldn't have counted anyway because Stankovic is called for the foul. It'll be a free kick for Philadelphia.
And it's very hard to push Nicky Nikolic out of the way, and that's why Stankovic, another Yugoslavian, is called for the foul. If I can continue on the carpet, the Spectrum's carpet is very, very hard, and the game moves a lot faster. Here, the carpet is very, very spongy, and notice you'll see maybe the players' legs getting tired.
Gattenhammer off the boards for Prentice. That was a nice tackle by Nicky Nikolic, and that enables Philadelphia to control. This is Dave McWilliams, tries it off the boards, but there's no one except Gattenhammer. Rob Prentice, acquired in the offseason by Kenny Cooper from Toronto, the North American Soccer League. No one in particular, and there is Arto Perry.
You mentioned Rob Prentice from the Baltimore Blast, Mark. It's something there. He was the leading goal scorer for Toronto last year, and Toronto released him, and look, he came right away and scored.
McWilliams tries for Salvamini, but Dan cannot control. Here comes Baltimore. They have a 3-on-2. Open for Prentice, and he scores! Acquisition this guy's turning out to be. For the first 4 minutes and 58 seconds of the season, he's got himself 2 goals.
Watch this one touch by Barrel. It's a very unselfish right there. Turn of defense. Rob Prentice, known for his extremely potent left foot, just had it laid up there. Arto was trying to cut the angle, and Barrel thinking he might shoot. Just slotted it to the left, and boom, goal.
Time of the goal, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. And it is Rob Prentice 2, the Fever nothing.
It's a shame, Mark, that the Fever have been caught twice in their own attacking third very deeply, and then they've had a quick counterattack, a 3-on-2, and both times goals have been scored by maybe holding on the ball or getting a great scoring opportunity, not getting the right bounce off the boards, and boom, quick counterattack.
This is Mark Atmore. He's got Lawson in the box, tries for him, but it goes awry. And Sarakin clears for Baltimore. 9 minutes, 35 seconds to go from a sold-out Civic Center in Baltimore. Baltimore leading by a score of 2-0, but Skip, we urge fans not to get discouraged. This is a young team that can strike quickly and last a long time and come back fast.
And here's one guy that's been striking all preseason with 10 goals.
Seal for Lawson, the first good legitimate scoring opportunity for Philadelphia. Doc had it right there, but a fine play by Gattenhammer. Now here comes Baltimore. Former Fever star Joey Fink, the team's leading scorer last year. In the box, Counts. And there's Arto Perry as Danny Counts with a nice-looking bicycle kick.
Danny Counts made a great effort, but let's give Arto Perry a lot of credit because he just saw it going over his head, dove back, and just flicked it with his fingertips and parried it just wide to his left.
Whelan tries in the box for Atmore, but instead the ball popping over the glass, and we have a goal kick coming up. 8:44 to go in the first period. Baltimore on top 2-0.
And it's a shame, Mark, because the Fever have had 2 legitimate chances, both on Doc Lawson's foot, and Doc just couldn't pull the trigger quick enough. But don't be discouraged because Doc is going to score plenty of goals like he has done in preseason. It's a new position for him. He's used to stopping Steve Jungle all season and every potent goal scorer in the league. And Walt Chizer's made an exceptional move by putting him up front because of his strength, and you'll see him, before the night's over, score a few for us.
It'll be a kick now, a kick in for Philadelphia. These two clubs met in the preseason, Philadelphia winning one 8-6, and then losing an exhibition in Hershey by a score of 9-4. All told, Philadelphia 3-1 on the preseason. Nanchoff in the box, it's by McWilliams. This is Prentice that's Barelich. This is Prentice. It's an onside pass. Look at Salvamini stick right with him. That's Jim Pollahan, who scored the first goal in major indoor soccer league history
when he was a player for the New York Arrows. There's Walt Chiswick's head coach looking over the situation, Mark.
We have a foul along the near side as Louis Nanchoff hits the deck. And a free kick for Philadelphia. 8 minutes even to go, first period. Baltimore on top 2-0. McWilliams going to work against Gary Ayer, and Ayer sticking in his arms, and he's called for a pushing foul. Free kick for Philadelphia. Dave McWilliams, second on the team in scoring last year. And now Kevin Welsh is pushed off the play by Pollahan, and another free kick for Philadelphia.
And a great individual effort there on Kevin Walsh. Ball is pushed behind him, and he sprinted with his enthusiasm, and Jim Pollahan had only one choice, was to push him out of the way.
Kevin is one of 2 Trenton, New Jersey natives on the Fever. The other Stevie Reed, who's already made an appearance tonight. Nanchoff right through the wall. McWilliams out in front, but he couldn't connect. Salvamini will be open, and it's wide. McWilliams tries to follow, and that's over the glass. 7:42 remaining in the first period. It is 2-0 Baltimore on the strength of 2 goals by Rob Prentice.
And the Fever, Mark, it seems that they're getting pressed. They're putting too many men in the offensive third, and if they don't make the right, perfect pass, if it gets stripped, Baltimore seems to be sneaking a guy behind our defenders, and the quick counterattack is on.
Whistle from Bill Maxwell.
But a bit of unluckiness, because they've had 2 real good scoring opportunities where the game could be all tied up. So there's nothing to be worried about yet, Mark.
Well, in Hershey, that 9-4 loss by the Fever to Baltimore, Philadelphia had numerous golden opportunities, but Keith Van Aaron stoned them. There's Arno Perry doing some stoning of his own. And Louis Nanchoff at center. Nanchoff with 26 assists last year, second on the team, despite only playing 2/3 of the season. It's Kevin Welch, and Gattenhammer has him measured.
And Louis just coming off a preseason injury. He's hurt himself playing the same Baltimore team. He was on the field for 2 minutes, scored 2 goals, and then pulled a muscle.
Open man out of the box. That's Fink. Salvamini turns him around and scores!
Fink coming out of the box here in a line change, put a fake on Salamini, both 14th. Fink, who has a potent left foot, just hit it low. Arnold coming, cutting the angle. Goal.
So Joey Fink, who had a goal and 3 assists in that preseason game against Philadelphia, scoring one here, and it is now 3-0. Baltimore, the time of the goal, 8 minutes and 4 seconds.
And the Fever got caught there in a line change, Mark, and the weak side pass caught Joey Fink unmolested there, and just put his bat in his cut to the left and hit it home.
Atmore open, but he cannot control. Baltimore breaking back, but it's a 2-on-4. There's Pat Arcoli. Let's see how he works it. Danny Counts, the assistant coach, trailing the play. Baltimore, an experienced club, showing it here. Perry making the save on Fink, and there's Timmy Clark to help him cover up.
Well, Fink and Perry really know each other, and there's Elton Seal with 10 preseason goals. Look for an exceptional year. He came to play this year, which he has every year.
Elton tries the left foot, but it's wide. There's Doc working hard down low, off the boards. But Fink with a rebound. Ercoli with a heel pass for Fink. Gets by, got Ercoli in the box. And now Arno Perry. Skip, Philadelphia looking a bit disorganized in the early going.
Well, you know, it's the first game of the season, and this is going to happen with a lot of new faces, but let's give Baltimore's playing very well. They're playing in front of their home sellout crowd, and they always come out like a the rocket ship that came down tonight that brought the team, and they seemed to tire after the first period.
Through Tony Whelan's legs, and Arno Perry saw it as it came through the tunnel. Timmy Clark acquired for the Minnesota Kicks. Good pass for Louis Nanchoff. Louis off the board, and a nice play by
John Collins.
John Collins coming back. 4:45 to go, first period. Baltimore last year finishing ahead of the Fever in the Atlantic Division of the Major Indoor Soccer League by 3 games. And last year, Baltimore beating Philadelphia in the season series 4-2.
In 4 games, the Fever all went down by 1 game, Fever in Baltimore.
Louis Nanchoff hits the deck. It's going to be a free kick for Philadelphia. That's Mike Stankovic, the man guilty of a pushing violation. He's a tough one. Nicky Nikolic, one of 2 Fever players to play all 40 games last year. Kevin Welch, but good ball control by Baltimore.
Very good.
The Blast working in the Fever zone. This is Barelich, recently acquired. Good tackle by Louis Nanchoff. Loses his shoe. And now he's got to dance around with his right shoe not on his foot.
Kevin Welsh, I thought for a second, thought it was the ball.
Play by Salvamini to stop Stankovic. Here comes Nikolic now. He's got McWilliams in the zone. Also Welsh. It's a 3-on-3. A shot! And a good save by Gattenhammer as Nikolic had a measure to the far outside corner. Seal shot is short-circuited. Elson being counted on for a lot of goals. Nikolic will shoot. It's wide and over the glass with a goal kick coming up for Baltimore. 3:13 to go in the first period. And the Blast leading by a score of 3-0. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Rosenbluth travel.
Back at the Civic Center in Baltimore, we have a corner kick now, not a goal kick. It's going to be a corner kick for the Fever. Off the dead ball. There it is for Whelan. They fail to connect with him. Good defense that time. Off the dead ball situation by Baltimore. Lead pass for Jim Pollahan. Doc Lawson back there. Elson Seal out with Doc, tries to lead him, but it goes too far, and that's Sepp Gattenhammer.
Very close there, Mark. Doc coming breathing down Sepp's throat, and Sepp's pretty face almost got a food of Doc.
Whistle by Bill Maxwell, an infraction of some sort against Baltimore. And a free kick coming up for the Fever just in front of their own line with 2:41 left to go here in the first period.
There's Keith Von Aaron in the corner, and I think Keith thought he was playing goal, and the ball bounced, and Keith went over, and it seemed to hit him in the hand, and Bill Maxwell said, of course, it hit the opposing team, so he stopped the ball.
This is Mark Atmore. Clark for Lawson. Elson Seal trying to settle, and there's Joey Fink unsettling the situation. Doc's got it down low, tries to turn. Atmore fan. Good tackle by Collins to get it to the neutral zone. And now Gattenhammer will distribute to the far side as Baltimore comes back. We've reached the 2 minutes to go mark here in the first period. 3-0 Baltimore. Air with a shot. It's short-circuited by Arno Perry. That's going to mean a goal kick now for Baltimore. The Fever kicks off the home season on Saturday, November 28th at 105 The Spectrum against Greg Gigurev and the New Jersey Rockets. It's McDonald's Day at the Fever. The McDonald's All-American Jazz Band will be on hand to provide live entertainment. And at halftime, you'll be able to watch the finals of the Sidekick Soccer competition that saw some of 10,000 youngsters from the Delaware Valley compete earlier this fall. To call the Fever office now for ticket information. The number 215-546-5600. That's 215-546-5600. November 28th, 1:05 in the afternoon, Thanksgiving Saturday, the Fever and the New Jersey Rockets. And And there's a satellite by John Collins. And that'll mean a goal kick now for the Fever. 1:48 to go in the first period.
And there's John Collins right there that took that satellite shot. It hit the screen that we saw the Baltimore Blast Fever players, and the crowd went up with a roar. But he's the captain, and he's with Baltimore for the second season.
Skip, the important thing to note now is not to get discouraged. This is a team, a young team, an American team certainly, but a lot of former U.S. national youth team, former national team, former Olympic team. Good quality players, and they can come back.
And you're right, and Walt Chislewicz has brought in a real crew of enthusiastic, hard-nosed, and willing to give 100% for the coach and for the Fever organization, and it's nothing to be discouraged yet.
For the rebound there, and we have a whistle, and we have a 2-minute penalty, I believe, against Baltimore.
Yeah, delay of game.
Delay of game penalty. I believe that's Peter Baralich that's going to be sent off. So Philadelphia now trying to get back in this thing, and Baltimore helping them with the first penalty of the MISL season, and it's going to be a man advantage situation for the Fever.
And it's Peter Baralich. He just bought a home in Washington, D.C. last season, and he's from Baltimore, from Yugoslavia, excuse me, and he might be making a few more appearances to his new home in the penalty box.
13:27, the time of the penalty, and Philadelphia with a man advantage. They were 32 for 86 last year. That's a 37.2% efficiency. Skip, how do you rate that?
Best ones in the league last year.
Louis Nanchoff playing the point along with Russell and Lawson, Atmore and McWilliams in front, and Davey there trying to tip it by Gattenhammer, but the shot was wide.
Looks like they were playing a 1-2-1-1 with Davey low, Mark Atmore.
Atmore, oh, and it was just wide. McWilliams tried a header that was short-circuited, and Atmore could have had his first goal as a professional, but he just shot it wide. 1.5 to go now in the penalty. A minute even to go in the first period. Philadelphia with a chance to slice into that Baltimore margin at 3-0. Russell's going to unload, and that one is short-circuited. McWilliams, Russell, score! Dale Russell following up his shot from distance. It's a man advantage goal coming with 1:18 to go in the penalty. 51 seconds left in the first period, and it's 3-1.
And it was a real good pass by Louis Nanchoff. Watch Dale Russell with his mighty left, and David McWilliams helped here by pulling look at this, the run there, and then Dale coming through and hitting the far corner low. And gives Davey a lot of run for obstructing Seth Gottenhammer. So let's give Dale his first shift coming on and with his mighty left peg.
Dale Russell, who was third last year in man advantage goals for the Fever with 4, picks up the team's first goal of the year on the man advantage. It comes at 14:09 unassisted, and the Fever now cutting the Baltimore advantage. It's now 3-1.
And that's the best way to get back into the ball game.
It's got to spark you, Skip, no question about it.
Oh, that's what the Fever needed. They've had like 3 really good opportunities before that, and Seth Gottenhammer has denied them. Then they got a man advantage, and they came, which last year it wasn't one of our strengths of our team, and we came right away first time. We didn't even waste a whole minute. Goal. And we need that. That sparks the team.
Danny Count, score!
Goal scorer, Danny Counts, who's been a thorn in the side ever since he's left the Fever's team. Right here, he hits it off the boards, and he double kicks the boards. Once, twice, and then Ardo, thinking it's coming off initially time, and hit twice, and just got behind him again.
Danny Count, Skip, the leading scorer against Philadelphia for Baltimore last year with 6 goals and 8 assists, now picks up a goal here at 14:21, and that one's got to hurt. It's now 4-1 Baltimore with just 20 seconds to go. This is Baralich, races by Russell in the box, still has it. Unbelievable. Baltimore putting on all kinds of pressure with just 8 seconds to go, and finally Russell clears. Here's Lawson with a break, 4 seconds. Doc up the far side, off the boards, 1, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it. The buzzer goes to end an odd first period, certainly a successful one for the Baltimore Blast. The score at the end of 1, Baltimore 1, the Fever nothing. We'll be back with a second period in just a moment.
The automobile.
The Baltimore Blast and Coach Kenny Cooper certainly very happy with the result of that first period. His team ahead of the Fever by a score of 4-1. Rob Prentice breaking the ice at 1:02, scoring a second at 4:58. Joey Fink and Danny Counts, the goal scorers for the Blast. Dale Russell, the lone scorer for the Fever on the man advantage. And Walt Chisowitz, do you think he's concerned, Skip?
He's just surveying the situation. It's still the first period, first game of the season, and Walt just has his game plan. He just wants the players to go out and play that he has, the system that he has in.
So we're ready to begin the second period of play now. Louis Nanchoff, Dave McWilliams, and Stevie Reed just to the upper right of your screen, beginning the second period on the forward line, along with Dan Salvamini and Nicky Nikolic. Baltimore to kick off because Philadelphia is the visiting team, kicked off to begin the game. And Baltimore in their home red, orange, and white now, going left to right. The Fever in their traveling white trimmed in purple and red. 4-1 Baltimore, but that is certainly not a big lead in this game, and there's plenty of action to go. Stay with us. Blast threatening again. There it is, and Arno Perry recovering very nicely to stone Rob Prentice, who was going for a very early hat trick.
And a very excellent save by Arno Perry. Because, again, that was a layup for Rob Prentice, and Arno reading it, getting quickly diving to the left, quickly got up and just covered the angle, and Rob hitting it thinking that he had a layup, and here it is. Here's the pass, and there's Rob Prentice just slotting it, and Arno just coming, you see lower hand, right-hand corner of your TV, just coming diving, sprawling low, and it's making a great save to keep it still in the ballgame.
Well, as forecast by Kenny Cooper, Rob Prentice is really turning out to be the prolific scorer that he was in the North American Soccer League indoor season.
And here's the collision between Louis Nanchoff and Peter Baralic, both Yugoslavians. And they fall a little bit like Yugoslavians also.
Philadelphia trying to put on some pressure. Nanchoff for another Yugoslavian. That's Nicky Nikolic. The left footer is wide, and here comes Baltimore. Just about a minute gone here in the second period. 4-1 Blast, but again, by all means, not a big lead against the Fever or in any major indoor soccer league game. This is Trenton Stevie Reed from distance. It's easy, and there's Gattenhammer with the easy save.
And Stevie could maybe dribbled a little bit more to hit one of his powerful shots. Louis Nanchoff, give him a lot of credit. He pulled his defender out of there to open a lane for Stevie, and Stevie tried to pull the trigger from deep out, and Seth Garmenhammer made a very easy save.
There's Gattenhammer way out of his nets. He and Keith Van Aaron both like to wander a little bit.
Yeah, and both are very excellent goalkeepers. Last season, Kenny Cooper traveled all around the world to find a goalkeeper, and all he had to do was just go up an hour and a half to Philadelphia, and he offered Keith Van Aaron a contract that he couldn't refuse, and Keith came to Baltimore.
Good ball control by the Blast, but Dan Salvamini takes care of that. And the young Californian, former Olympic team member, comes to center.
And he played for the Philadelphia Fury. He played every game except one for the Philadelphia Fury when the Fury were in Philadelphia.
Louis Nanchoff, good move. And Gattenhammer is tested along that far side.
To beat Sepp, you got to take him to the corners like that, but then drop it deep for somebody following up, because Sepp is a very good post hugger.
Wholesale changes for both teams now, as Counts tries Arno Perry, but Arno plays the boards nicely, and this is Mark Atmore. Leading Doc Lawson. They try to isolate Doc one-on-one.
And two giants really right there. Jim Pollahan and Doc Lawson, both all-star players as defenders, and Doc has been moved up to the forward line.
Atmore for Seal. Elson open. There it is. And a good play by Gattenhammer as Skippy came right off his line, anticipating that shot by Elson Seal, and he short-circuited it.
Yeah, he read it very well. And it was the only thing he could have done, because Elson was coming quickly, and if Sepp stayed on his line, Elson would be able to pull the trigger and would have almost had a golden opportunity, but Sepp coming off the line quickly gobbled it up.
Doc Lawson is buried in the Baltimore zone by Gary Ayer, and that's going to be in a 2-minute penalty now for Gary Ayer, the second of the game, both on Baltimore. Give Philadelphia another man advantage. 12:01 to go, second period, 4-1. Back with a man advantage for the Fever in just a moment. Doc Lawson injured on that penalty that he had absorbed there, a fording penalty on Gary Air, but he's okay and he's ready to work on this man advantage situation. Second of the game for Philadelphia. They scored on their first. Dale Russell getting the goal at 14:09, and they have a chance now here to cut the Baltimore lead in half with the man advantage goal. 11:50 to go in the second period. It's 4-1 Baltimore, but a chance for the Fever.
The Fever are playing with Louis Nanchoff as a distributor, with Dale Russell on the left and Doc Lawson. Doc possessing a cannon with his right and Dale possessing a cannon with his left. And they have Davey Mack, the Mack attack low, and Mark Atmore, who's a very good touch player who can lay the ball off.
See how they work it now. Russell. This is Nanchoff. Fever very deliberate on the man advantage. Watch this. Lawson winds and he's short-circuited. Good play there along the far side by Baltimore, and the ball is loose at center. 1:14 to go in the penalty to Air. 11:13 in the second period. 4-1 Baltimore. Good defense by Dale Russell right there, closing up Joey Fink, who is known for his short-handed goals throughout the MISL league. Russell with that big left foot. Short-circuited up top by Lee Cornwell. Nanchoff, and that one goes over the glass. 50 seconds on the penalty, and Skip.
It's a corner kick for Philadelphia.
Okay, it was out on Baltimore. That means the corner kick coming up for the Fever. Very dangerous dead ball situation, especially when you have the man advantage. This is Nanchoff off the board. Lawson's going to unwind. Oh, and that one way over the glass, hitting a movie screen that they hung here right below the flag at the far left side. And goal kick now coming up for Baltimore. Still 46 to go, 46 seconds to go on the man advantage for Philadelphia.
If the Fever wanted this to work a little bit better, Mark Atmore has to play a little bit higher in the penalty box, because it's not giving Davey McWilliams any room to do any roving to get behind the defense. And every time Davey makes a run, Mark keeps to be running into his way. And I think this will be corrected shortly.
Well, Atmore now is stationed up top, Skip. Here's Nanchoff. Russell off the boards. McWilliams is down low, but Davey is ridden off the play nicely. Russell follows up. Clear it is loose! As Gattenhammer tried to clear it out himself, and he was out of position. Callahan now tries to shift it back to his goalkeeper, but instead Baltimore clears the center. Prairie to help out. We have 15 seconds to go on the man advantage. And wait a second, a trip at center on Joey Fink. Nanchoff is hurt, and fortunately, Skip, for Joey, no 2-minute penalty on Baltimore, because that was a pretty obvious and pretty flagrant trip there.
Yeah, Louis Nanchoff got here's a foul right here. Louis Nanchoff holding it and then pushing it past Joey, and Joey taking him down like a TV wrestling, and Louis is just being walked off the field now. We're fortunate that he wasn't injured.
Louis is actually playing injured. He's about 90%. He had, I believe, a hamstring pull or a groin pull.
So there's no way you would leave Louis Nanchoff out of the opener for the MISL season.
Elson Seal in now to replace Louis as that ball deflects off of Baltimore's Lee Cornwell and over the glass. And it'll be Philadelphia possession. Still with 9 seconds to go on the man advantage. Check that. It's out on Philadelphia. I thought maybe it was off of Lee Cornwell of Baltimore, but we have a goal kick now for Baltimore. That could do it for the Philadelphia man advantage. Penalty is now over, and the teams are at full strength. So 1 out of 2 for the Fever on the man advantage as Gary Air now races across and into the bench, and the teams are at full strength. 9:50 to go, second period, 4-1 Baltimore. Elson Seal tries to work it for Mark Atmore. And Skip, it looks as though that the team is missing passes by a couple of feet here, a couple of inches here, and maybe with a little more experience together and a little more rhythm, we'll see a little more goals.
Yeah, the rhythm is the key. The Fevers do not have the rhythm of this game yet, and their intensity is good, but they're not playing the ball early enough. They're dribbling, looking, and then making a pass, and by the time they make the pass, the space is closed.
Baltimore now very patient as Philadelphia closing off some of the channels. Now they work it along the far side for Crosley. Good move by Paul. He'll shoot, and Perry knocks it down and makes the save. And there is Lou Nagy looking for a rebound, but Ardo keeps the ball, and Philadelphia now will come back with just over 9 minutes to go in the second. This is McWilliams. He's got Welsh with him in the zone. They go back to Nikolic. as Philadelphia now trying to push the ball up, trying to pen Baltimore in and force a goal. McWilliams has a break, shoot, score! What a magnificent play by Dave McWilliams as he just picked the pocket of the Baltimore player, wheeled and fired, and the Baltimore lead is cut in half. It's now 4-2.
And it's good to see, and here it is. Here's Davey Mack at the best of Danny Counts, and just pushing it high on Seth Gonaher was very good low, but hitting it high in the corner. Seth did not have a prayer, and let's give Kevin Welsh a great assist there by knocking it off, and Davey just flicking it right between Danny Counts' legs, what we call a tunnel.
So Dave McWilliams, who was second on the Fever last year in scoring, first in assists, picks up his first goal of the year. The time of the goal, 6 minutes and 8 seconds. It is unassisted, as was the Russell man advantage goal, and it's now 4-2.
You get Davey Mack anywhere inside that penalty area, just a little bit out, and on his right peg, he's going to fire it on goal.
Skip, you and I were discussing the fact that if the Fever can stay reasonably close to a team, meaning 1, 2, possibly 3 goals into that fourth period, it's still anybody's game because the team is young, they can last and they can fire and score at any time. There's Lou Nagy trying to make trouble for the Fever down low. Ball is still loose. Crosley had a good play there by Bobby Steinberg to take it away and shoot at the center for Kevin Welsh. Philadelphia now showing a little bit of rhythm, showing a little offensive firepower, and they have cut the lead to 4-2. We still have plenty of time, just over 8 minutes to go in the second period. Off the boards, there it is in the box. A follow-up for Elson Seal, but he can't control it, and Baltimore controls and shoots the center.
And you're talking earlier, Mark, about if the Fever can keep it close. Yeah, they do have a lot of young legs, and they do have a lot of speed. And this is one ingredient that Walt Chizers believes in, and that's the speed. They also have the strength and power. So they're known, I think they're going to be known as a fourth quarter team where they come really strong for the fourth quarter.
Seth Gattenhammer, he didn't mean to do that. And because of that, he will not get a 2-minute delay of game penalty. However, it will mean a kick-in where referee Bill Maxwell is standing along the far side. 4-2, Baltimore in front. 2 goals by Rob Prentice, 1 each from Danny Counts and Joey Fink. Dale Russell and Dave McWilliams, the textile connection, connecting here for Philadelphia with 7.5 to go in the second period. Remember, the opening home game, November 28th at the Spectrum. The starting time is 1:05, and it will be against Fred Gugurev, another former Fever player, and the New Jersey Rockets. Still plenty of seats available, but they are going fast. This man's going fast. That's Doc Lawson up against Gary Ayer. I think Ayer's going to be marking, Doc.
Yeah, Gary Ayer is going to be the marker for the Baltimore Blast. Last year they had Neil Cohen, who had contract trouble with the Dallas Tornadoes and now is in Tampa. And Gary Ayer has taken his position as the marker. He's a quick, strong player, and he played for the Portland Timbers last year, and they picked him up in the offseason this year.
Also played for the Wichita Wings of the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Right, and it's nice to see him on the Baltimore team because Baltimore broke his leg last year.
Atmore is snuffed out by Gattenhammer, who again came off his line very nicely to stop the shot. Now here's Prentice. He'll be looking for a hat trick the next time he goes goalward, but a good play by Tony Whelan, the 29-year-older, to take it away. Tony all the way up the side. Gattenhammer there to stop the shot. It may have gone wide anyway. And again, we add that the pace of play is picking up. 6.5 to go, second period. Baltimore in front, 4-2 before a sellout crowd here at the Civic Center in Baltimore. Prentice, it's wide, and no one there for Baltimore to get the rebound. And Skip, now Baltimore looking a little lackadaisical. As that time Prentice was in all by himself, where there were no teammates around to help him out.
Well, it was a quick counter, and Prentice got it and just flipped the ball past Whelan and just happened to hit the ball high, but a good defense by the Philadelphia Fever by getting back, tracking back, and then picking it up and looking for an attacking play out of their attacking play.
Danchoff knocking down Varelich, and Louis has called for the foul. It'll be a free kick.
Now they're even, Mark. They're even, 1-for-1.
Free kick from the neutral zone for Baltimore. Danchoff with a good toe poke, and Whelan goes back to Ardo Perry. Ardo quickly distributing. They look for Doc. They got him on the run, and right with him is one of 2 Baltimore shadows. Whelan looks for Atmore. There's Lawson breaking through 2 men, and what do we have here? Could be a foul on Barrelage. That it is, as Doc hits the deck, and a free kick coming up for Philadelphia from a very dangerous position just on top of the Baltimore penalty box.
And it was a good opportunity for Doc, and Barrelage only had one choice, and that was to obstruct him or push him or trip him. And here we'll see it again. Ball being laid by Atmore, and Doc is trying to split 2 defenders, and then you see Barrelage sticking out his left peg and Doc going flying to the turf.
Well, Philadelphia failing on the dead ball situation. Baltimore with possession now. They come to center. This is Mike Stankovic against Nicky Nikolic. The two purring to each other in Yugoslavian before the game.
The Cobra and the Snake, I guess, huh?
Philadelphia now pushing up against Baltimore, keeping them from breaking out. That's a good sign.
Yeah, they're really picking up their men very quickly now, and the added goal by Dave McWilliams has restored a lot of confidence into their Fever team.
Breaking out of the box quickly, this is Pat Ercole. And I believe we have a 3-line offside pass against Baltimore. That's the second against the blast of the game. And again, Skip, for our new viewers, a quick explanation of offside.
Okay, Mark, that's when a forward pass crosses both red lines in the air without touching a player. How's that, Mark?
Well, you're a licensed A coach of the United States Soccer Federation. I figure what guy to call on, what better guy to call on than you for an explanation of any rule.
But I was the biggest offender of them.
That you were. There's a try for Clark, and it just hit the post along the near side as young Timmy Clark came in from his defender position. Now we get a break for Baltimore. This is Barrelage, but Philadelphia back in plenty of time. And Tim Clark, who almost scored the 3rd goal, came back nicely on defense. And now we have a penalty, a foul against Baltimore in possession in Philadelphia. So I think we should give some good marks to Timmy Clark. One for almost scoring a goal and another for coming back nicely on defense.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, which is really nice to see, and this is the enthusiasm that Wald has brought back into the Fever team. There's Timmy Clark getting a shot on goal, and as soon as the shot just went wide, he sprinted back and picked up his man who was breaking and stripped him of the ball. And that's the type of teamwork that Walt's looking for.
Down low, Philadelphia putting on some pressure. There it is. Oh, and McWilliams had it open net, and he fired it wide to the near side. Unbelievable as Philadelphia is now putting on great pressure, trying to cut the margin. A shot there taken by Russell. That one short-circuited. A follow-up by Elson Seal as Philadelphia all of a sudden now finding the magic and coming back as the peak of the game picks up tremendously. Here goes Pat Ercole into the zone. A beautiful play by Timmy Clark to take him off the play. Hitting the deck is Ercole, but no penalty called. And back comes Philadelphia. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Clock running second period. Baltimore on top 4-2. McWilliams alone. Here he is. Shot. Oh, what a great save by Gettenhammer as Davey Mack had a chance to pick up another goal, and Gettenhammer with the save. Here's Elson Seal with a shot and a good hit in there by the Baltimore defender, John Collins, to break up the play. Here comes the blast. Dave Saracen and against Elson Seal. A shot, and that one is wide. As now, Skip, it is end-to-end action for the first time in the game.
And this is what the MISL Soccer League is all about. And if you want to see this excitement, come out to our home opener November 28th.
1:05 the starting time already. I'm losing my voice. Louis Nanchop trying to turn somebody around, but his pass is short-circuited by John Collins. However, Russell follows up. That's a long one, and it just skips by Gettenhammer as Dale was trying to bid for one from long distance. Now Nanchop with just over 3 minutes to go, trying to turn a man around. There he is. Good move, Louis. Tripped up just alongside the penalty box, but no penalty call. Back comes Baltimore. Joey Fink trying to turn around Dale Russell. Nice toe poke by Dale to take it away from Joey, but his pass is earned. Danny counts, and that one is weak as they had a 2-on-3, and Danny couldn't do much about it.
And if they would have played the ball quicker instead of holding on to it, they would have had a great opportunity. But let's give the Fever defense coming back quickly and denying it.
Doc Lawson racing in against Dare. He and Gettenhammer greet and then separate. And Baltimore now controlling. So, Skip, I think when the pace picks up, Philadelphia should see that to their advantage, as I believe now we have a timeout called by Baltimore. With a blast leading by a score of 4-2 with 2:14 to go in the second period. The Fever's only Saturday night home game this season is set for December 5th when the Fever hosts the Cleveland Forest at 7:35. A good crowd expected, and the first 10,000 fans entering the Spectrum will receive a hot color poster featuring several Fever players modeling Jordache. courtesy of the merry-go-round stores. For ticket information, you can call the Fever office right now. Operators are standing by. The number is 215-546-5600. 215-546-5600. For ticket information, December 5th, as Pittsburgh comes to town. And, of course, while you're making your call, you can also inquire about the opener. That's November 28th, a Saturday afternoon, a Thanksgiving Saturday afternoon against the New Jersey Rockets. Skip, getting back to that previous thought, it seems when the pace of play picks up, the younger Fever team is able to dictate the game a little bit more, and that time they had the better the scoring opportunities.
And I'll tell you, thank goodness for Scott Gottenheimer and John Collins, because the Fever had 2 or 3 errant shots that were going to find the back of the net. And you made a good point there, Mark. When the Fever pick up the pace and put the pressure on quicker, Baltimore does not have the time to make the weak side passes, and this is allowing the Fever to come in from deep and getting shots on goal. And I just saw Walt at halftime telling his players, keep up the pressure, but don't get so nervous when you get the ball. He's telling them, easy. We're in this game. It's only for the kill.
When you say Baltimore is unable to unleash that weak side pass, what do you mean?
Well, it's when the opposing runner runs from the opposite side, a guy with a ball, and he just pushes it to the opposite, and usually that space is vacant, and then they can get a shot on goal with a diagonal pass or something like that. But the Fever are picking up the men quickly and putting the guy under pressure that he can't make it.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the second period. Philadelphia trying to cut the margin. They're down 4-2. There's Doc Lawson. Good move using the boards along the far side. Gary Ayer is right with him. And a fine play by Ayer to take the ball away and also take Lawson out of the play. No penalty called. Back comes the blast. They have a 3-on-3 as they enter the Fever zone. Jim Pollahan for Baltimore.
And I think at Kenny Cooper's timeout, he told Baltimore to play defeat because there's only 2 minutes left in the game. There's no need to rush.
Open is there, and there's Arto Perry quickly off the line to stop him from causing any damage. And with 1:20 to go, Nanchoff will come back. Far side for Nikolic into the Baltimore zone. A good play there by Mike Stankovic to take it away from Nikolic. And now Baltimore to control with 1:10 to go in the second.
And it was a good pass by Louis Nanchoff. We saw Nicky Nikolic running from the weak side, but Stankovic made a good defensive play on him because the Fever could have probably got a good opportunity out of it.
Last minute of play on the second period. Baltimore controlling. Give and go with Counts. Perry's out of his box. And now Mark Atmore. Cannot control. Counts steals away. There it is, open. Stankovic. Open Counts. Great save by Arto Perry. Counts there looking for a rebound. Baltimore pressure. Prentice, 29 seconds. Stankovic tries to get around Salvamini. Dan sticking right with him. Good pressure by Baltimore. Prentice with a shot. And that one is short-circuited very nicely there by Mark Atmore. The ball over the glass. It'll mean a kick-in now for the Blast with 18 seconds to go. And whatever Kenny Cooper said to his Blast team must have inspired them. They put on the pressure here, Skip, for the last minute and a half.
And Arto Perry came up with the save of the game, just getting his fingertips and hitting the crossbar. And then Mark Atmore playing defensively. And he's an attacker. He played back in the box. He took a shot and just happened to get his leg and bounce it with 18 seconds to keep the Fever in the game.
Tim Clark tries to clear it. Good play by Prentice, who's got 2 goals to keep it in, and it's off the boards, and Arto plays it nicely. 8 seconds left. A chance for maybe one last stab as Philadelphia breaks out the center. 3 seconds, that might do it. This is Tony Whelan, 1, and the buzzer goes, and that is the end of the first half. So a half to find out what you can do, what you can't do, and to try to correct your mistakes and win it. The score at the end of the first half, Baltimore 4, the Fever 2, but stay with us. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment. 2.
There was nice, a little poetic justice there. Kevin Welch gave a beautiful pass to Davey McWilliams, and Danny Counts, who's been a thorn in our side for the past 3 years. Davey Mack just pushed it between his legs. Davey set up his right peg, saw Sepp Gottenheimer diving low, and Sepp's very good on.
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, scientists believe that a Martian invasion occurred millions of years ago when they discover a strange object buried deep within the Earth's core. Don't miss 5 million miles to Earth. Tomorrow night's moving picture at 8 o'clock on Channel 17. We're going to get some movement now. The players are out. The second half is underway. Stay with us. It's 4-2 Baltimore, but lots to come. Philadelphia dressed in their traveling white, trimmed in purple and red, moving left to right. That's Mark Atmore for the Fever. Philadelphia with a flurry of activity around the Baltimore goal late in the second half as they threaten to come back. Nanshaw falls. Baltimore breaks, but it's a 2-3-on-3. It's a 3-on-3. Barelich just misses along the near side as Arto Puri was there and he was moving, but the shot was wide.
And the Fever started with the three same forwards, Mark Atmore, Louis Nanshaw, and Doc Lawson. But they changed the defensive course and put Nicky Nikolic and Dan Salamini, both Fury players, and it's maybe that they put them together just to change a little defense there.
That's Nikolic with the ball for Nanshaw, who's at midfield. He's got Atmore and Doc Lawson dancing in the Baltimore zone. Good move by Louis. Has it. Still moving down low. Off the boards. Tries for Atmore. And Baltimore shoots at the center. Salvamini keeps the pressure on. Looking for a dangerous play perhaps on Salvamini. I don't know, but at any rate, Baltimore now with possession with 1 minute and 5 seconds gone here in the second half. Counts looks for a head rebound, but Lawson heads it out instead for Philadelphia. The Fever trying to dictate the pace of play, trying to keep the pace rapid and fast as they feel that their young horses can outrun the older but more experienced Baltimore team.
And the Fever need to move the ball quicker this second half, Mark, to get back into the ball game. And what I mean by moving the ball is playing the feet a lot earlier.
Elson Seal, he'll try the boards. There it is, and Atmore had it on his left peg but couldn't control. Pressure, but there's Danny Counts for Baltimore to move it to center. Here's an interesting statistic. 26 shots for Philadelphia, 17 for Baltimore after that first half. Good save by Arto Puri as the shot there taken by Rob Prentice, who was bidding for his hat trick, but Arto made the save.
And Arto's made quite a few excellent saves that have kept the game a lot closer. Even though the shots, the indication, a lot of the Fever shots are wide and high, but most of the shots by Baltimore have been right on goal.
Philadelphia putting on some early pressure, trying to slice that Baltimore lead even more. They're trailing 4-2. Clark for McWilliams. Davey, good move, tries to get it. And an excellent play there by Gary Ayer as he tied up Dave McWilliams and kept him from getting off any kind of shot.
Yeah, McWilliams right there again, getting the ball with his right peg, turning quickly and tunneling Jim Callahan, and Seth Gottenhammer coming quickly off his line, and Davey just trying to toe poke it, and Seth made a very good play.
The New Jersey Rockets, an expansion Major Indoor Soccer League team operating out of the Meadowlands, opening up tonight against the MISL champs, the New York Arrows, and those two teams are tied at 1. Play on in the second period.
We'll be able to see that same team on opening night, which is November 28th. You come on out and see that Mac Attack night or McDonald's night, where you see the finals of Side Kick Soccer, and EPYSA night.
Actually, it's afternoon, Saturday afternoon at 1:05. Kickoff, November 28th, Thanksgiving Saturday afternoon. Philadelphia trying to push up with pressure, but Baltimore breaking back quickly. This is Eric Coley. Tony Whelan stays right with him, and a good poke by Timmy Clark to get it to center.
In this interesting matchup, we have Elson Steele on Joey Fink.
Nice tackle there by Dave McWilliams coming back from his forward position to stop the Baltimore attack. 11:20 to go, third period. Baltimore on top 4-2. McWilliams works, tries to ease over to the top of the box. Good play to Steele, 5, and that's wide to the near side. As McWilliams neatly drew 2 Baltimore defenders over, Skip sprung Steele loose, and Elson tried it along the near side.
Elson and Davey, teammates for 3 years, just show the understanding they had were, and also teammates for the Philadelphia Textiles. And Davey and Elson almost came up with a beautiful combination.
Stevie Reed tries a shot. Gary Ayer with the block for Baltimore. Timmy Clark keeping it in the zone as Philadelphia putting on the pressure. This is Tony Whelan. He's got a mean left peg. McWilliams. Elson Steele with good hustle. Baltimore just standing around as Philadelphia controls. Chip it down low for Steele. Gattenhammer's way out. There's Whelan with an open net. Shoots! Oh, and Gettenhammer came back, followed up by McWilliams as he tried a diving header on the rebound. And good defense by Skip Gattenhammer, but some nice scoring opportunities, Skip, for Philadelphia.
Very good. That's the best opportunity of the game. And David McWilliams was trying to come out, trying to head a pass, and kept diving across the box and just getting a fingertip.
Well, the Fever, as we mentioned before, out shooting Baltimore in that first half, 26-17, and they continue to dominate play now here in the second half. Open is Lawson. Guerriere to block that one. Nanchoff. Ball is loose. Atmore tries to break it loose. There it is. Score! Louis Nanchoff, and Baltimore was just standing around. And wait a second. No, I don't believe we got a goal. They're going to just allow it.
Unbelievable.
And Walt Kisowitz is very upset with that one.
And here, let's look at it. Atmore diving for the ball. Step doesn't have control. And Atmore just sticking his foot in and kicking it away. And I think he's trying to protect the goalkeeper, which is and it's unbelievable. And Louis Nanchoff following up in the crease.
I think the allegation is that the goalkeeper Gattenhammer had control, which he clearly did not on the replay.
It shows on the replay that he didn't have full possession of the ball, but I know in the goalkeepers have been getting punished in the MISL, and they're going to really call it tightly, and I guess right there was a bad indication of what time when to call it.
Well, in all fairness for the goalkeeper and for all players involved, when you're laying down on the goal crease and there is spikes and everything flying by your head, you have to be protected, and in that case, I guess referee Bill Maxwell was doing just that.
He was trying to protect him, but it was a great scoring opportunity for Philadelphia. And it's unlucky because the Fever have been really into the attack this third period.
Nanchoff unsuccessful in that try, and with 9.5 to go in the third period, Baltimore with a tenuous 4-2 lead. They'll come back. Joey Fink with one of 4 Baltimore goals. Timmy Clark stays right with him and takes him off the play. However, Danny Counts will follow up for the blast. The sellout crowd now getting into it. They want to see their blast extend that lead. Fink hits the deck, nothing called. Here comes Lawson. He's got Atmore and Nanchoff, and a good play there as Callahan kicks Lawson's pocket. Open is Ercole. Good slide by Whelan. Ercole tries to follow it up, but Lawson clears. And a foul on Ercole. Free kick for Philadelphia, 8:42 to go, and a brisk third period. Back comes Lawson very quickly, but Baltimore is able to get it back to Gattenhammer. Good pace of play here, Skip.
The intensity has really picked up in this third period. It's the best indoor soccer both teams have played so far this season. As a matter of fact, it's the first game this season.
Nanchoff has Stevie Reed open. There's Stevie on a great play to follow up, and that one goes over the glass. Louis Nanchoff and Reed try to connect down low. Stevie was open, but Gattenhammer, Sep G, comes off his line and makes a good save.
And the Fever have been putting all kinds of pressure in this third period, trying to get a goal to get back in their ball game. And it's really unlucky because they did get a goal. It was called back, but they still haven't given up that fortescue attitude, intensity, enthusiasm that Walt believes in.
Intestinal fortitude.
What did I say, attitude? It's almost the same thing.
I think you were speaking Spanish, Skip. Just over 8 minutes to go in the third period. Nikolic riding on the back of Stankovic. And the obvious pushing foul against Nicky.
Looked like Nikolic and was scratching Stankovic's back.
Free kick for Baltimore. Trying to head man to Stevie Reed. Tell me there's not hitting in this game. They two go colliding along the near side. Here's Elson Steele now on the free kick. McWilliams, oh, there it is for Elson. And a great play there to get it out of harm's way by Peter Barelich. Good scoring opportunity for Elson, but Peter Barelich, the Johnny on the spot for Baltimore, Skip.
Yeah, very. Just happened to get his toe and just flipped it wide into the corner. And I'll tell you, Stevie Reed, I'll tell you, he's been running all over the place and causing all kinds of trouble for the Baltimore Blast defense.
Excuse me, Skip. Philadelphia clearly out hustling Baltimore in this third period, and if they could keep up this pace of play, something's got to give.
And you're right. The Fever, with this type of intensity, will score. And as soon as they score, then we're in the ballgame.
McWilliams. And Barelich is called for the foul. Good dead ball situation here now for the Fever. With 7:17 left in the third period and a 4-2 Baltimore lead. McWilliams on the one touch. It goes over the glass, and we have a goal kick coming up for Baltimore. Dave McWilliams, who has one of 2 goals here tonight for Philadelphia, the other one by Dale Russell. Davy Mack scoring at 6:08 of the second period. Unassisted, being counted on this year to score a lot for the Fever, Skip.
Yeah, and he's the
7:16 to go, third period. Baltimore on top 4-2. Back with more in just a moment.
Did you know there's a way you may pay less for electricity? It's called off-peak service. By restricting use of your electric water heater and electric clothes dryer to off-peak hours, you actually pay 30% less to use them. Write us to see if off-peak service can help you. Let's face it, 30% savings on your water heater and clothes dryer can really cut your electric bill.
Sip Gattenhammer distributing for Baltimore as the Blast tries to start some kind of offense. They've had very little, if any, offense so far in this third period, and we are more than halfway through. Philadelphia dominating. However, they trail on the scoreboard by a score of 4-2.
And the Fever put in Dale Russell in defense. They've primarily been playing offense all his life, and I think it's just to match up Pat Ercole with the one-on-one and match speed.
That clearing pass goes off Gary Ayer for Baltimore and over the glass, and we have a kick in for the Fever. Nanchoff going one-on-one with Crosley. Louis with a good move. There it is. Alone is Atmore. Fires. Great save. Good save by Gattenhammer. Quickly off his line. A beautiful setup by Nanchoff. Louis has it again. Fakes the shot.
Louis, who likes to dance when he's not playing soccer, just showed his dancing when he's on the field, and really took 2 defenders to the cleaner, and Atmore just couldn't pull the trigger.
Nanchoff and Lawson. Louis has it. Left peg. Good tackle by Crosley. Just over 6 to go. Third period. Philadelphia threatening. They've already had a goal taken away from them. It's 4-2 Baltimore. A break now. Lawson. But back is there. Doc's going to try it anyway. He's got Nanchoff at the top of the box. Doc is big and strong and quick. McWilliams! Still with it in there is Gattenhammer. Davy Mack had all kinds of opportunities. However, Gattenhammer, who was laying right across the goal, kept Davy at bay. Philadelphia doing everything but scoring. Lawson from distance, and that one had Gattenhammer handcuffed, and Lawson, who could shoot him at 85, 90 miles an hour that time, unleashed a rifle. Sylvanus Oriaki, number 16, from Howard University, originally from Nigeria, making his first appearance on the field tonight for Philadelphia. 5:05 to go, clock running in the third. It's 4-2 Baltimore.
Sylvanus Oriaki, All-American from Howard, and played against Old Dominion last year and unleashed a cannon from 40 yards in the upper right-hand corner, and this is hope that this is his first shift. He can hit a few of those cannons.
He and Doc can start their own gun club.
That's right. They can kill goalkeepers, right?
Here's Sylvanus at center. Nice lead for Elson if he can grab it. And a good play by Paul Crosley, just delaying Elson's field enough and keeping him from getting any kind of good offensive thrust. Here's Oriaki again. Nice tackle there by John Collins to strip him of the ball. There comes Baltimore back the other way. This is Crosley crossing it. Ercole was waiting. Fink has it. Turns, fires, wide. Rebound for Crosley. Oh, and a nice play by Timmy Clark as that one was ticketed for the lower near side corner, and Timmy Clark with a gem of a defensive play. As Baltimore now picking up the play in the Fever zone.
Paul Crosley saw that Pat Ercole was open on the left-hand side, and Timmy Clark making a great save.
Fink with a shot. As Baltimore, for the first time in this period, Skip, putting on an offensive show.
Because they have their big guns out there. They got Ercole, Fink, Counts, John Collins.
McWilliams, there's Gattenhammer. Davy Mack going to try to take it away from him. Set plays the boards nicely, and there's Counts falling over McWilliams. And Dan Counts is going to be called for the foul. Advantage Philadelphia deep in the Baltimore zone.
And that's where Davy McWilliams is so unselfish about his play. He'll dive into the corners, go one-on-one with the keepers, and he'll sacrifice his body for somebody to score and even himself, which he has done for the Fever the past 3 years.
Steele will take the corner kick. 3.5 to go. Clock running in the third. Baltimore leading 4-2, but Lord knows Philadelphia's had their opportunities. They've already had one goal taken away from them. Louis Nanchoff, the would-be scorer.
The Fever look like they're playing about a minute and a half to a minute and 45-second shift. And that's how highly competitive and the intensity of the game is.
Russell from distance, and that one, I believe, hit the near side post. No other reason for that to take the ricochet that it did. Here's the blast with a break. This is Prentice. Stankovic tries to one-time it. Ball is loose. And Arlo Perry, who Skip has played very nicely after a shaky start, keeps it at 4-2.
Well, after the first shot of the game, which was the goal, he's come through and made some exceptional saves and a little bit of volleyball there, Mark.
Nanchoff, he's a magician. Watch his footwork. Good ball control.
And there's a problem that we've had all last year in this Baltimore Stadium with the carpet coming up. Louis trying to beat a guy in a carpet just coming up and slowing him down.
Dan Counts being marked tightly by Atmore. Prentice and Salvamini. Prentice has 2 of the Baltimore goals.
And if the Fever can get the ball to Louis Nanchoff, he'll go one-on-one with Stankovic.
Good play by Barelich, and there is Arlo Perry to stone him from about 10 feet away.
10 inches away. Barelich just trying to get his foot on it, and Arlo coming off his line, cutting the angle, and just getting a shin on it. Good play by Arlo.
Louis going to try some more footwork. There it is. It goes by Atmore, but Nikolic is there for the deep rebound. 1:14 to go, third period. Just over a minute now. Rob Prentice, wide open as Barelich. Lawson picking him up. Good play by Atmore. Chance for one last scoring thrust possibly for Philadelphia. 45 seconds left in the third period. A goal here would look nice. Here's Atmore, but it's just a little bit too far for him. Lawson had the right idea, and here comes the blast. A 3-on-3 break. Callahan. Prentice, they try to give and go. Good play by Salamini to clear the area. 29 seconds to go, and Gattenhammer way out of his net now. And he goes to center. This is Prentice. Again, a 3-on-2. Open Callahan. They go to Ercole against Salvamini. And his left footer blocked very nicely by Dan with 13 seconds to go. Nanchoff at center is pushed down. Barelich, and there it is. I thought so. 2-minute penalty against Barelich. And Skip, that's just what Philadelphia needs now to try to cut the margin as Louis appears to be hurt. They trail at 4-2, but another man advantage situation, their third of the game.
There's Louis Nanchoff, one of the stars of the Philadelphia Fever, flicking the ball over Peter Barelich. And Peter Barelich is getting his fist, and here we'll watch it on the replay. Right here, both of them pushing, and there's Barelich with the elbow right in the chin. And Louis, which had a one-on-one opportunity, getting denied by a foul, and it was a good call by Bill Maxwell, the referee.
So Peter Barelich, who at 30 years old is a very experienced, very talented player, picking up his second penalty of the game.
And there's the carpet in Baltimore, which has been coming up in the corners, and that can cause a lot of injuries.
The time of the penalty, 14:49 of the third period for Peter Baralich, who has 2 assists. Also picking up 2 penalties. Man advantage, Philadelphia. They're 1 for 2 so far tonight. Russell's shot is wide. 3 seconds to go. Doc will have to hurry. 1, that'll do it. The buzzer goes, but the penalty will continue into the 4th period. So no scoring in that period, but plenty of action. We are at the end of 3 from the sold-out Civic Center in Baltimore. It's Baltimore 4 and the Fever 2. Monday night at 8 o'clock, Gothic Horror Week begins on Channel 17 as Lynn Redgrave stars in The Turn of the Screw. It's Gothic Horror Week all next week on Channel 17, The Great Entertainer.
And there's a crowd standing up because they have the all-time record here at the Baltimore Civic Center with 11,119, and the whole Baltimore Blast team came out and gave them their fans, the number 1 fans, a cheer.
They call the fans the 7th man here, Skip.
And it was it's a bit of a, and there's the carpet that was so bad, and that's a Velcro strip. Usually you put tape, or if it's over ice, they wet it down, but here in Baltimore they use Velcro strips and hoping it wouldn't come up, and they're repairing it. And it was so bad during the 3rd period that if anybody went into that corner, a very serious injury could have happened. Halftime score, Mark. New York or New Jersey, guess.
1-1.
You read it, didn't you?
I cannot tell a lie. All right, we're set to go here in the 4th period. Philadelphia dominating the second half, but not able to connect. It is 4-2 Baltimore. We have 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining on the penalty to Peter Baralich for Baltimore, meaning a man advantage situation for Philadelphia. Philadelphia has already had 2 previous man advantage situations. They capitalized on their first at 14:09 with Dale Russell scoring in that 1st period. Nanchoff out there with Lawson and Russell. Atmore and McWilliams down low. This is McWilliams. Lawson will drive. And a good play there by a Baltimore defender down low. Nanchoff, however, keeps it in. 1.5 to go in the penalty. Opening moments, 4th period. Russell with a left footer. And a good play there by a diving John Collins to short circuit it, but Philadelphia keeps the pressure on.
And he's been diving all day. He must have made about 6 or 7 sliding tackles.
Nanchoff is pushed by former mate Joey Fink, and Bill Maxwell makes the call.
Let's watch it again. Doc giving the ball to Louis Nanchoff. Now Louis is going to do a little dancing on the ball. Fake left, go right, and Joey just doing everything to stop Louis because Louis had a good opportunity there.
Doc's shot pops up in the air. Atmore with a nice play to settle for Nanchoff. Just over a minute to go in the penalty.
Baltimore's playing a 1-2-1 defense there, Mark.
And Louis, for the second time, somebody hitting the screen. That was Louis Nanchoff doing it there as the ball goes way over the glass, and a goal kick comes up for Baltimore. 1:01 to go in the penalty to Peter Baralich. 14-12 to go in the game. Baltimore maintaining that 4-2 lead.
The Fever need to move the ball a lot quicker and give it to Louis so Louis can dictate the man advantage. And if Doc has to get it, if he doesn't have a shot, he has to give it right back to Louis. If Dale doesn't get it, give it right back to Louis. That way it'll open up space for Davey and Mark Atmore running deep.
McWilliams, he's got Atmore in the box. Lawson will unload, but it's far wide. Russell with a follow-up for that one, although with a lot of velocity. Got close to the goal, and Dale a little upset with himself as Baltimore now able to get a goal kick with 39 seconds to go in the penalty.
A good chance there, and Dale just screwing the ball a little bit wide and high to the left-hand side. Brissett was out of position. If he could have got on goal, great opportunity.
So he pops it up in the air, misses the scoreboard, and play continues.
I think he wanted to call that rocket that we had in the opening. I think he wanted to go home in that game.
A little too far for Louis, and Baltimore clears. 14 seconds now to go on the penalty. Probably one last shot for Philadelphia. Here they come. Nanchoff. Lawson. Russell's open along the far side. They don't see him, and that pass from Lawson and Nanchoff goes awry. The penalty now expires, and the teams are at full strength with just over 13 minutes to go in a 4-2 Baltimore lead.
Fever really didn't get any cohesiveness there at all, Mark. They couldn't really...
Atmore with a shot, and that one goes way over the glass. and into the crowd. Mark Atmore is a youngster. He's only 20 years old, skipper out of the Twin Town Soccer Club in Australia. Walt Chiswick saw him on the national youth team tour in Australia, and he was very impressed with him, and he signed him.
And they brought him, and he's had some great opportunities tonight, and all the shots have just gone wide. And I know Mark's a little bit frustrated, but he was down and under before. He can come out of it.
Correction of Mark's age, he's 21 years old. He's originally from England. And this Baltimore crowd now getting behind the blast, being urged on by the scoreboard. Philadelphia with a contingent of roughly 100 folks up to watch the game here this evening.
And Walt has put out the Trenton connection. Kevin Welsh and Stevie Reed.
Good save by Perry. Nicholas clears. That ball pops into one of the camera booths along the near side.
Great save by Otto Perry there, Mark. Point blank, diving low to his left and just getting a hand on it. Those hands are as big as frying pans, and he's been denying, I'll tell you, Baltimore this whole second half.
This is Stankovic. Barelich. That'll mean a goal kick for Baltimore. Last touching a Philadelphia player. 12:17 to go in the fourth period. Still lots of time.
Two diving saves by the Cobra, Nikolic. He's got his foot on two saves that might have been ticketed for goal. Great defensive play. Much a pick and roll here, Mark, on the corner kick.
That's Stankovic getting some instruction from referee Bill Maxwell. Good play by Nikolic to short circuit the dead ball pass, and Kevin Welsh shoots at the center. A foot race now between he and Counts. But Danny wins it back to goalkeeper Sepp Gattenhammer.
Both Counts and Kevin Welsh played in the Senior Bowl. Kevin playing for the East and Counts playing for the West.
Good move by Prentice to get around Salvamini, but a shot is wide. Now here comes Philadelphia on the break. Elson Seal racing up against Barelich. Leads Stevie Reed. There he is. Oh, and Gattenhammer off the line to make the save. As Skip, I don't believe Stevie had full control of that, and Gattenhammer took advantage of it, coming off his line and making the save quickly.
And Sepp Gattenhammer is really hurt there. Stevie Reed and Gattenhammer. Gattenhammer coming quickly off the line and getting a foot of Stevie Reed in the face. And Sepp, one of the all-star goalies, and we'll watch it here. Here's Elson Seal making a cutting off Barelich and making a great pass to Stevie Reed. Just Stevie Reed not controlling its speed and getting his foot and going in hard. And there's the left knee right in Sepp's face. And Sepp is hurt. Stevie going rolling to the board.
The Baltimore Blast will return to the Spectrum to take on the Fever on Friday, December 18th at 8:05, and it'll mark the return of Joey Fink, the popular goal scorer, who of course was traded to the Blast this summer. It's Honda ATC night at the Fever, and the first 3,000 fans 14 and under will receive a Fever t-shirt, courtesy of Montgomeryville Cycle Center. And we've got a great motorcycle ATC exhibition scheduled for halftime. It's December 18th, the Fever and the Blast, the same two combatants. You can get your tickets now. They're going fast. Order yours now. Call the Fever office even as we speak. The number is 215-546-5600, 215-546-5600 for ticket information. The Baltimore Blast coming into the Spectrum on December 18th. And of course, November 28th, it's McDonald's night. It's McDonald's afternoon. It's a 1:05 kickoff against the New Jersey Rockets, and you can head into a McDonald's, Skip, and get $2 off of any seat.
And I'll tell you one thing. This game is going to be an exciting game against the New Jersey Rockets. Freddie Kagurov comes back to the town. A lot of your fans enjoyed booing him when he was with the Fever. And there's Sepp Gattenhammer talking to Coach Kenny Cooper. Sepp says, keep me in. I'm all right. And I know Keith Bonner, the backup goalie for tonight's game, is a little upset, but I know he's happy that his team is now ahead by 2 goals. You know, it's ironic, Mark. If we give the nod, the first period we definitely would have to give to the Baltimore Blast. They scored 4 goals. We only scored 1. Second period, the Fever scored. Got to give the nod to the Fever. The intensity was up. Third period, it was all Fever. They had 2 or 3 opportunities to score, and it's so far, I would have to say, the fourth period has been all Fever. So if we can get in the scoreboard, we have a real good chance of pulling this game out.
Unfortunately, the scoreboard reading remains the same at 4-2. Mike Stankovic with some good ball control for Baltimore. Tests Dardo Perry. And the Blast maintain possession. The clock now becoming a factor. 11:15 to go in the fourth period. Philadelphia needing 2 to tie. Good anticipation there by young Lee Cornwell to break it away from Stevie Reed, and Baltimore now to try to put on the pressure. Elson Seal has Sylvania Soriaki in the Baltimore zone. Elson tries the boards, but instead rifles it over the glass, and that's going to be a goal kick for the Blast.
And I tell you, the Fever need to break out of their defensive third a lot quicker. Baltimore is flat defensively, and if the Fever can come wide quicker, they got a great opportunity for the quick counterattack. There's a Baltimore team surveying the situation. Referee Bill Waxhaw showing his skill there. Oh, nice trap, Bill. That's a good pass. Oh, nice touches.
Well, Baltimore got most of their scoring early, Skip. In fact, it all came in the first period. Rob Prentice for 2 goals, Danny Counts for a goal, and Joey Fink with a goal. And since then, it's really been all Philadelphia in terms of scoring and the play. Taking the play away from Baltimore and getting a lot of opportunities, but not able to cash in. That's Tony Whelan trying the header there, but it goes over into the Baltimore bench, and it'll be a goal, or I should say a kick-in for the Blast.
As we said earlier, with a sellout crowd, them screaming, yelling, the production, the opening number, the Baltimore team is psyched up, and of course it puts a little bit of the Fever on the defensive edge, and they came right out and scored, and 1 goal produces 2. Then the Fever got back into the rhythm of the game, and they started playing, and it's been the Fever, not score-wise, but by opportunity-wise and intensity.
A tough Timmy Clark there, drawing the tripping penalty. Philadelphia with possession. Atmore is double-teamed, but he maintains.
Louis Nashoff with the ball now has been very unlucky, especially in the third period where he set up 3 of the Fever players for layups, and they just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough.
Atmore tries to box. Joey Fink now will go against Timmy Clark. This will be a good matchup. Dantoff back to help out, and Arno Perry will control. And wait a second here. I believe we have a hold being charged against Philadelphia. Indirect free for Baltimore deep in the Fever zone.
Mark, you were saying that number 13 was unlucky. He's wearing 13. Today's Friday the 13th. What chances he had?
Crosley off the dead ball. There it is. It's loose. Fired by air as Arno Perry was down, but the ball was short-circuited. Bicycle kick by Ercole. Entertaining but not effective. And with 9:50 to go in the fourth, the Fever breaking back. Atmore into the corner with goalkeeper Gattenhammer. Gattenhammer out of position. Loftus scores! Mark Atmore destroyed goalkeeper Sepp Gattenhammer. They both legally went into the corner. It opened the way for Doc Lawson, and it is 4-3 with 9:43 to go in the fourth period.
And here's the ball going into the corner. And Doc just laying it off and just hitting a cannon from about 30 feet out into the upper corner. And this gives Mark Atmore a lot of credit there. Just going hard into the corners, both Shep and Mark going for it, and coming down, and Mark landed on top of Shep. Shep didn't have a chance to get up, and Doc just getting that loose ball, unleashed the cannon, and the Fever in the ball game. It's a substitution, Mark. There's Doc, the goal scorer. Walks into his instructions defensively what we want. And there's Keith Bonnier, former Fever player, Mark. All-star player, played for the Fever last year, and came down south a little, about an hour and a half, to play for Baltimore.
Okay, hold on to your seats. Fever's going to try to tie. We'll go over the goal for you in just a moment. 9:30 to go in the fourth period. It is 4-3 Baltimore. Reed, as they try to work a give and go with McWilliams, and Van Aaron now getting his paws on the ball, trying to get the feel of the situation. He's a cold goalkeeper, Skip, but I guess Kenny Cooper felt it was necessary since Gattenhammer really went down into that corner. As Russell is called for a tripping foul, and the free kick now will come for Baltimore.
And here's the foul right here. Stankovic and Russell. Stankovic stopping it quickly. Russell seeing a loose ball and just coming in, getting stuck in. Oops. Really going in hard for the tackle. Look at that intensity of Dale going after the ball. We're back in the ball game.
Doc Lawson scoring the goal for Philadelphia at the time of the goal, 5:37 of the fourth period. It is unassisted, Skip. But I guess if we could give assists in our own mind, we can give one to Mark Atmore, who went into that far corner against goalkeeper Sepp Gattenhammer, legally took him out of the play, and that paved the way for Lawson to put it home from about 35 feet.
That's right, and it's a shame that it's what you call the unsung hero in soccer, and give Mark a lot of credit, who's had quite a few chances to find the back of the net, but his desire and his hustle, and that's what Walt likes in the player, went hard into the corner and gave an opportunity for Doc.
Elson Seal hits the deck. Play getting a bit rough now as Baltimore feels Philadelphia breathing down their necks. Counts loses. Here's a break. 2-on-2. Stevie Reed and McWilliams, but a good play there by the wiser Peter Baralich to break up the youngsters, and Keith Van Aaron will distribute for Baltimore. 8:50 to go, fourth period at 4-3 Baltimore. Seal now at center. They have a 3-on-3 with Reed and McWilliams in the zone. Elson trying to cut around Baralich. Trailing the play of Salvamini. Elson doesn't see him. Elson still holds. Now he picks up Salvamini. And Dan's shot goes way over everything and into the crowd. The goal kick for Baltimore. 8:28 to go, fourth period.
A difficult shot from that far out, especially so many defenders and forwards in the box. And let's give Dan, maybe he was thinking if I hit it low, it might ricochet. There's Sepp Gattenhammer, the starting goalkeeper, who got a collision with Stevie Reed, and then in a collision in the corner, and Kenny Cooper said, let's take Sepp out. Sepp's not known for a player that when it gets the going gets tough in the collision. Sepp likes to come out of the game. As we remember last year, Baltimore was winning 3-1. He got a collision, came out, and we went on to win the game 4-3 at home.
Van Aaron with the goal kick. Doc at center trying to break it up. Look at Lawson going into the air. I think he likes that forward position. It gives him a chance to really exercise his muscle.
And he likes the situation there. He just went up and got a nosebleed. He came so high.
Danny counts the shot as weak as Doc is able to help short-circuit it. Russell at center. Good toe to get it through there to Nanchop. Check that Atmore. And back comes Baltimore. Still plenty of time to go. Just under 8 minutes in the fourth period. Baltimore looking lackluster as the Fever steals it away. And this is that key fourth period we've been talking about, Skip, is now possibly the blast running out of gas, but the Fever still have plenty left.
Yeah, and you can see, watch, the Baltimore players are running a lot on their heels, where the Philadelphia team is on their toes, showing new life.
7.5 minutes to go, fourth period. Baltimore breaking. But Russell and Atmore combined to steal. Half the period gone, 4-3 Baltimore. Atmore tries to lead for Lawson, but there's Collins, who has been stellar on defense tonight for Baltimore, to get it back to Van Aaron. And that time, Bob Steinberg, who has been on only once or twice before for the Fever, gets called for the obstruction. And with 7:18 to go now, it'll be a free kick for the Blast.
And let's take your opinion. Maybe he deserves the Academy Award here. Here's Louis Nagy, just letting the ball go. Steinberg getting in front. Nagy knows he can't get it. Oh, sorry, I got to see if I can get something called. Look at Steinberg, didn't even know he touched him. And Walt was very upset there and came jumping off the bench to let the referee, Bill Maxwell, that I think you had to...
That's a goal, and it counts, and it's a backbreaker. It's a backbreaker. It'll come with 7:15 to go in the fourth period, and Baltimore now up 5-3.
And there you are with the call, Academy Award, and then Louis Nagy getting the goal by just flicking his feet, and Bob Steinberg threw the ball in the head and just flicked it over Arto Perry. And that hurts, Mark. That really does.
Louis Nagy is going to get credit for the goal. He had 11 last year, playing only 20 games for Baltimore. The assist is going to go to Paul Crosley. The time 7:45, and it is 5-3, but still lots of time remaining.
Plenty of time in this indoor game. Goals come fast and furious, and the Fever have been playing with a lot of intensity this fourth period.
Louis Nanchop at center. This is McWilliams against the tough Gary Ayer. Davy Mack's pass is intercepted. Clark tries McWilliams again. He and Ayer will go for the corner. And Ayer wins the battle. Tough break for Philadelphia just when they were knocking on the door. Trailing 4-1 to cut the margin to 4-3. Baltimore getting their 5th goal of the game to make it 5-3. Joey Fink, Tony Whelan helping out on the fence. They crash into the boards. Now Timmy Clark is Finky chewing up some clock for Baltimore. Now Crosley in there. It's getting very intense and very pushy. And referee Bill Maxwell lets them play. The AstroTurf now coming up, and that means a stoppage in play. And we also have a foul against Baltimore, meaning advantage Philadelphia.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in that corner, Mark.
Break for Philadelphia. McWilliams and Lawson. Davy Mack for Lawson. Shot. Good save there by Jim Callahan, who came back on defense to help out. But Doc doesn't give up. There he is for McWilliams, and Davy couldn't turn it around as Callahan was right on his back.
Good opportunity there. Davy Mack looking at Doc saying, here we go, the 2-on-1 situation, and Callahan just getting back and just getting his foot before Doc could be ticketed for the back of the net.
5:37 to go. Clock runs in the 4th period. That ball over the glass, and I don't mean a kick in for the Fever.
And a line change also. A good time for a line change because both sides are going end-to-end soccer and exhausted.
Well, we have a game in Pittsburgh. That'll be next Saturday night on Channel 17, 7:35 the starting time. And then Saturday afternoon, a home opener at the Spectrum, November 28th, kickoff 1:05 against the New Jersey Rockets. And for those of you who would like a discount, stop into your neighborhood McDonald's and get $2 off. Louis Nagy, who just scored that critical 5th goal, but that time, no one there to help him out, as I guess, Skip, Baltimore now is going to keep their men back and play defense.
Well, they're still going for it. It's 5-3. I might have to disagree with you there, Mark. They're still playing their system of a 2-2-1 and playing their lone runner, and they're putting Louis Nagy in there because he scored a goal and has plenty of confidence.
Just under 5 minutes to go. This is Elson Seal. Doc Lawson, who's got his first goal tonight as a member of the forward squad, formerly a defender. Baltimore playing tough marking defense now, and now they break it out to Nagy. Tries to work against Salvamini with 4.5 to go. Baltimore now, Skip, all of a sudden controlling play in the last minute or so. Here's a break, however. Nicholas with Atmore and Reed in the zone. Also Seal. Nicky, however, ridden off. Counts right with him, but Atmore alertly helps out to keep possession. Fever controlling, trying to push up. Overlap for Salvamini, but Dan's shot skips over the glass and into the crowd. And with 3:56 to go in the 4th period, it's a Baltimore lead still at 5-3.
There's Dan Salvamini right there. Mark had the last shot. He's had a few from outside and just has not going wide. There's Jim Kelly, backup goalkeeper from Fox Chase. It's good to see another Philadelphia player on the team.
Jim was spotted by assistant coach Richie Sheridan playing in the playground one day, and Richie was impressed enough that they gave him a tryout, and lo and behold, here he is.
Yeah, they stopped about 7 shots at Richie and said, hey, don't tell anybody. Don't let anybody know. Come and try out for the Fever.
Just under 4 to go, 4th period. Mark Zumoff along with Skip Roderick from a sold-out Civic Center in Baltimore. 11,119. Here, Coley's try off the board goes awry, and that'll mean a goal kick for Philadelphia.
There's Pat Erkerly with a scar across his nose. He might have got that by doing one of his bicycle kicks, and the foot came through and hit him in the nose. But
5th all-time leading scorer in the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Yeah, and Coach Kenny Cooper lacked scoring last year, so he went out and got Joey Fink, who was the 4th leading goal scorer, and Pat Erkerly, and so far they're in the lead, and Joey Fink has a goal.
Timmy Clark has played a brilliant game on defense tonight, being bothered by Joey Fink with 3.5 to go. And that's a 3-line violation against Louis Nanchop, the first tonight called against Philadelphia.
Fever a little frustrated now, Mark. they're not running like they were earlier in the fourth period, but what I mean by they're not showing for the ball and knocking it early. They're standing still, and they're just hoping that a pass will just go over one of the defender's head or go off the boards. And there's Walk surveying the situation and still...
I guess for him, Skip, it's a learning process, too. His debut, really, as a professional coach. Play is loose at center. It is also rather vicious as Collins and I believe Stevie Reed hitting the deck. And I think we're going to get a 2-minute penalty against Stevie Reed. And I think that's the backbreaker, Skip.
Well, when the score's 5-3 and you have a 2-minute penalty, you know, it could be. And it's unbelievable that Bill would call that call with the game the way it is. But Stevie Reed and both John Collins fighting for the ball, and Stevie Reed out of Trenton, a very aggressive, hard-nosed type of player fighting for it, and Collins, a little guy, just happened to go into the board.
Collins has played an exceptional game on defense tonight for the Baltimore Blast, and he gets a little pat on the tummy from goalkeeper Keith Van Aaron, who has come in here to relieve Seth Gattenhammer, who was injured earlier in the fourth period. For Stevie Reed, a boarding penalty. The time of the penalty, 11:39, and the former Mercer County College All-American and Notre Dame high school player has to sit it out for the next 2 minutes, and that could do it now for Philadelphia because there's only 3:21 left in the game, and they trail it 5-3.
Well, this is the first time we've seen a Fever penalty killing situation. See how we do.
In the box it goes. Fink with a shot and a score, and that's going to do it, I believe. Joey Fink with a man advantage goal, his second goal of the game, and that's probably going to do it for Baltimore. Despite some second half domination by the Fever, they now trail it 6-3 with 3:10 to go.
And we'll watch it here, the ball coming off the board. Joey Fink pathetically running out of there and just hitting it right in the corner. Arto Perry didn't have a prayer, gave a gallant effort, but Fink ticketed for a second goal, and I know Fink was really excited about that. We're not too excited about it, but I know Fink was.
Well, I guess you always like to do it against your old mates, and that is what Joey is doing tonight. He picks up his second goal of the evening. It is a man advantage goal coming at 11:50 of this, the fourth period. It's unassisted, and Baltimore now in command at 6-3.
And Fink, who last year scored 51 goals, came back and has started the season good for himself, starting out with 2 goals.
I'll tell you, Joey had a great year at 51 goals, second in the league to Steve Jungle of New York, who had 108, but that's not to take any away from Joey, as there's Van Aaron looking sharp on the shot by Steele. Nicholas with a follow. McWilliams tries to counter on the rebound, but Baltimore is able to control. The Fever not giving up, down 3 goals with just under 3 minutes to go, and maybe 1 or 2 very quick ones can make it interesting. Let's see, let's watch.
And that's the type of team the Fever are. No matter what the score, no matter what time it is, they're still going to give 100%.
Barrel it's wide for Nagy.
Arto coming off his line and hitting a post. Arto coming back, Timmy getting back. Ball bounces up right to Louis Nagy's head. He just dives and heads a wide open net. Louis Nagy, who only has played in the fourth quarter, the last 8 minutes, has now scored 2 goals.
Goals are coming in 2s this evening for the Baltimore Blast. 2 each for Rob Prentice, 2 each for Joey Fink, and 2 each for Louis Nagy. Dan Counts getting the lone singleton for the Blast. And all of a sudden, Skip, a game that was dominated through the heart by Philadelphia is now turning into a 7-3 rout by Baltimore, but certainly the score not indicative of the way the teams played tonight.
Well, the Fever are here to stay, and you got to understand that this Baltimore team went to the playoffs last year. He got rid of a few players that he wasn't pleased with and brought in stronger players, and they're just showing why they went to the playoffs last year. But the Fever have done very gallantly, and you have to give them a lot of credit. They're still fighting out there.
If you were to characterize this game, it would be Baltimore domination at the outset and toward the end, and the Fever having the better part of play through about the middle 2/3.
Well, what killed us was the third period. We were all over them. and Sepp Gottenhammer and John Collins were denying us continuously. We were getting great shots on goal, but we just couldn't find the back of the net, and that hurt us because we came out the second period really with gangbusters.
Not to mention the goal by Louis Nanchoff that was subsequently taken away that would have made it 4-3. Barelich with a break. Salvamini stops that with 1.5 minutes to go in the fourth.
And that's the type of game this is. It's a very emotional game, highly strung, very competitive, and if something's taken away from you, just like getting your candy taken away when you're 2 years old, you get upset.
Callahan now is going to just run it out for Baltimore with just over 1 minute to go. And Barelich taking a quick glance at the timer. The cheer signifies the 1 minute mark. Philadelphia with no reason to hang their heads down, certainly. They played an aggressive game, and they've got to find themselves against some competition before they really get their act together and start winning games on any kind of consistent basis. And I think all they ask is that you give them an opportunity to get some games and experience under their belt and see how they do toward the end of the year. But right now it's early. It's only the opener, and I'm sure they learned a lot of lessons from this.
Well, don't forget, it's a home opener. It's a sellout crowd. The fans are all over the fever. They're screaming and yelling, and it's tough to go away from home.
Well, you know, there's a way to counter that in your own home arena,
right,
to get your own fans out.
And we'll have a sellout for our first game. We'll show the New Jersey Rockets what it's all about. When is that, Mark?
November 28th. Kickoff is at 1:05. And again, we remind you to visit your local McDonald's and get a couple of bucks off each ticket. 23 seconds to go, and this big sellout crowd now standing. Of course, very, very happy that the Baltimore Blast has shown them a good time tonight, and that they have, winning comfortably, and right now leading 7-3 with just over 10 seconds to go. Pink shot short-circuited. 4 seconds. 2-1. That's going to do it. And 11,119, a sellout rejoice. The game is over. And the Baltimore Blast dominating early and late, able to win it. The final score from the...
An ironic